Hey guys, we're going to be checking out Warframe in 2022. And if you like the content, like, share, and subscribe. Let's look at it. I missed Warframe. I missed Warframe a whole lot. But at a certain point in time, I just had to leave. The burnout was excessive and I don't think I was enjoying the game anymore. And this is me back again in 2022. I saw the new trailer. Man, that Wolf like Warframe looks really cool. And I said, you know what? Let me come back to Warframe and see if some things have been addressed. Unless this is a result of my gameplay and what I experienced. And I'm going to break it down. The problems are still there, but Warframe has a special place in my heart. And I'm always going to be down to support Warframe. So I'm going to break down everything I feel is wrong with this game. And I'm going to see how digital extremes can come together to fix it. I feel it was right to start with this trailer of Plains of Eidolon because the Plains of Eidolon is the sole reason why I started playing Warframe. I had a buddy, his name is Radek. We had been looking for the next game to play while we were waiting for Destiny 2. And I saw the trailer for the Plains and I told him, I said, look man, I don't know what this game is, but this trailer looks sick. And I said, we just have to download it, we have to check it out, we have to play this game. And it was basically supposed to be a stopgap between when Destiny 2 came out. And before you knew it, I had already poured 1,000 hours in Warframe and I never regretted a single moment. And I want to start with the little things I experienced, the new game modes and all that has come to Warframe over time. And I want to show you my experience and tell you what I feel Warframe is still missing. Yeah, and this is a brand new tile set, open world hub area called Deimos. Supposed to be infested theme. I really do like the aesthetics of this planet. It's really cool, really nice. But it still comes down to the problem that I have with Warframe. And when I started Warframe and I saw Plains, it took 7 to 8 months before Plains eventually came out. And during the 7 to 8 months, I fell in love with the tile set of Warframe. So by the time I got to play Plains, I wasn't really looking forward to. I was looking forward to Plains, but I didn't care anymore because Warframe was already good enough with or without the open world space for me. But that's one of the problems these open world areas have with Warframe. They feel too detached from the main game. And I do like the open world areas. I like Plains, I like Fortuna. And this Heart of Demons looks really good. But I see these open world spaces as farming locations. And that's the problem. They are literally hub areas, big hub areas. They look really good. They are really fun to explore, but they are farming locations. And literally, what you use them as is that when you get in, you farm whatever resource you need for to build whatever kit gun or whatever amp you need to build, and you're out. I even like Deimos a little bit more because Deimos actually incorporated some of the tile sets into the open world area and I feel it was better. But these spaces feel too detached from the main game. They feel like you're almost making me leave what I love to come into these spaces. And it's really sad because without the planes, I never would have attempted to play Warframe and put so many hours and have so many memories in it. But I just can't get to it. Like once I was burnt out hunting Eidolons, I don't think I've ever been to the plains. Same thing too with Fortuna. Once I took care of the big bad some few times, I never went back there because those spaces just I don't want to be there. I want to be in the actual Warframe tile set and not be in these open world spaces. But you actually still have to appreciate them for what they are because it's an attempt for the studio to try something new, but it just didn't agree with me. Yes, Deimos already has his own standing, with some bounties and all that. And that's the thing. All these things don't really want me to stay there because I don't need any weapon. I don't need any kit gun from these spaces. So I don't even want to interact with them any more than I'm supposed to because I just feel Warframe needs to merge this game back together. I don't know. I wish there was a way Warframe could take the open world tile set, merge it with the existing tile set, and give an interconnectivity. You're inside a tile set, you get into the open world, and you come back out, and these things will make the game feel better. I know you're wondering why there's a video of Megamind on your screen, and I'll tell you why. In Megamind, he had to create literally a force to dance with. He literally had to create his own superhero just because he didn't want to be alone. That's always been the problem I've had with Warframe. By the time you get this strong, by the time put 25 former into weapons and frames, and what are you going to go fight? And I don't know, I think it's a fundamental problem. Yes, I don't feel enemies should become more bullet spongy, but everything just feels like you're going through the emotions. And every single time a new power is introduced and a new frame who comes in and is all powerful, and I just feel like, where is the difficulty? I'm telling you, without difficulty, I don't want difficulty to seem like that is the only thing that makes me game. But at a certain point in time, you have to look at yourself and think that I think the Tenno might be the villain. Because there should be no reason why, as a homicidal space ninja, you don't even want to have one single person who can stand up to you, because you just lay waste to everything in your path. I think Warframe needs to look at it. Warframe needs to find a way to bring difficulty into Warframe, because there is none. Yes, it doesn't just make sense to me that I've been away from Warframe for 2 years. I haven't played Warframe. Yes, I've watched some live streams, bits and pieces. I've seen some YouTube videos, but I don't play Warframe. And it doesn't make sense that after 2 years, I come back into Warframe and I slot into the hardest difficulty, no issues. I'm not saying I will become a scrub because I've put considerable hours into Warframe, but the fact that I can go into Warframe and play its hardest difficulty and not break a sweat, I think Warframe needs to look at it. And it's not just about putting a 150 enemy sortie. It has to be something else. I don't know. Have a system, a shield system that you have to break down before you can attack the enemy. Just something to make people think a little. Because when I fight enemies in Warframe, I'm almost brain dead. I'm just like, I'm going to pour as much damage out and I'm just going to keep it moving. In fact, right now, it even makes frames that are even non-damage frames obsolete, because it's like, why do you need a non-damage frame? Just get a damage frame, you can pour out the most damage and just keep it moving. And Warframe needs to do something about that. I think they can create modes, and I'm not talking about endurance run. I'm not going to play an endurance run for 2 hours just to finally find an enemy that can give us some tough time. There needs to be, I don't know, bosses, because even the bosses that Warframe has introduced, they are still relatively easy. And I'm not talking about islands and all that. I'm talking about kind of like mini bosses that are in tile sets. They are not that strong. Warframe needs to find a way to fine tune his enemies and keep the power fantasy. But once in a while, Superman needs Doomsday to tango with. Without Doomsday, Superman is just a bully in a red cape. You need somebody that can make the hero look good. And I think Warframe needs that. And it comes down to the final thing, which is the elephant in the room, which is the end game. And no, it's not fashion frame. I think we've made that joke a lot. It's time we get over it. Now, I was lucky to be able to experience the law of retribution before D took it away. And it was, first of all, I was just a Trinity. The leader of the clan told me, just pick Trinity and we're going to carry you through the raid. And that's what I did. I picked Trinity, and the raid had a lot of issues, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the raid for what it was, because it showed 6 people coming together and coordinating to a certain level And that thing made it really exciting. I loved the way the raid was that one activity because all the time I was playing Warframe, I wanted to be able to do the raid. And I kept on building and building. That was at the first moment. And it even makes frames that are utility frames to have use. I remember what Vauban does in the raid. I remember how you needed a Trinity to heal. I remember how you needed either an Ash or a Loki to go invisible. Then Ivara and Co came. It made the raid fun because people were distinct. It's not all now that oh man, we're just gonna go in, deal damage, go in, deal damage. I really wish DE can bring back trials. I don't know. I get it. They say trials had a lot of issues. It was hard to maintain, but they can create a new trial and bring it back. We need trials back. And another aspect of Endgame that I think DE needs to look into is look at Conclave. I get it. A lot of Warframe fans are not big PvP people, but PvP helps a game. It helps the community. It helps with content because it's harder to create PvE content because there are a lot of things. But if you create a very fun and interactable PvP, it helps veterans have things to do besides engaging with the PvE. By the time you're done with the PvE, you can go into the PvP. I've tried Conclave and Conclave sucks, but there has to be a way. I don't know, Almighty Pablo, in your infinite wisdom, maybe you need to just, take some time off and just look into PvP. I think PvP can really, really help Warframe. It can give Warframe that little boost of content so that you don't need to be worrying about content every single time. Because that's another thing with Warframe. They always like these big content drops, but sometimes it's not easy for companies to put this out. So I really think PvP should come back into play to keep the community happy. And I'm just going to leave you with my final thoughts. I want to tell you a story about Warframe. When I got into Warframe, I met, just a guy. He introduced me to the clan and we became fast friends. It was so crazy that I was getting married. We had just been playing Warframe for about 4-5 months. And he was trying to come for my wedding. I've never experienced anything like that in any game. It was so crazy that he spent his own money trying to get the visa, but it didn't just work out. And I've never felt something like that in any video game ever. I really, really love Warframe. I feel Warframe is an exceptional game. I feel Warframe is a game that is necessary because I'm already scared for Warframe. Yes, I've seen the trailer for Soulframe. And now they've said Soulframe is a spiritual successor. I don't want to assume. Who knows, DE might have gone in star strength. But I don't think DE can maintain two games at the same time. So one of two things is going to happen when Soulframe eventually launches. If Soulframe launches and becomes an instant hit, they might eventually tell some of the Warframe staff to join Soulframe. Or if Soulframe is a dud, they might tell Steve and Co to come back and try to help Warframe out. I'm really glad Space Mom is now in charge of Warframe. I feel she deserves it. She's just awesome. But Warframe needs help. Like when I came back on, the leader of my clan, who's my very good friend, said, "Oh my god, I saw you launch Warframe." I said, "Yeah, I'm trying to do this YouTube thing." He said, "Oh, cool. Is it worth me coming back?" And that message is still unanswered. I've not replied him yet. And before I started this recording, he sent me a message again. Bro, is Warframe right now? Should I come back? And I'm going to tell him to come back because I love Warframe. But I couldn't tell it to him confidently because the issues that we faced are still there. And that's it for the video. If you like the content, guys, I appreciate the sub. And this is not me bashing Warframe. This is not Warframe bash parade. I love Warframe. I love everything about the game, and I hope the game succeeds. See you later, guys. Peace.